So a guy, apparently a worker at the airport, hijacks this plane.
No, and that's the that seems to be the question of the day, right? Is like how does he have access to this aircraft? Well, apparently, from what the news stories and from what other media outlets have been saying, is that this gentleman was like a ground service agent. So basically, he was a rampy, right? So not only is he's gonna have like certain certifications, right? So there are certifications for like towing. So this individual may have the training necessary to be able to power up the aircraft, power up said aircraft, and manipulate the brakes or something in case, for example, they're towing it to the gate or something like that. So he's going to have those credentials to be able to do that. So, I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of surprising, but then it's almost not because, he deals with this thing on a daily basis. So,
yeah. Instead of towing the aircraft, he just took off.
Well, just to give a little more insight to the people who may be listening or watching us on YouTube, like you were actually an airline pilot, legit, straight up.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, at one point.
What?
Yes,
so you have that insider knowledge to how this stuff actually works.
So, but yeah, that is it's not really because regional aircraft they look complex, but they're really not. I mean, these aircraft are designed for efficiency, and they're designed to run multiple trips day in and day out. So, I mean, like the startup process, you're looking at maybe like 2 steps.
Oh, really?
So I'm sure said individual has either been around the flight deck during the startup process or has seen it himself. And so, I mean, I guess if one wants to just go off and do it on his own, I mean, really wouldn't be that, quite honestly, really wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Well, he talked about in this, this long kind of audio conversation that we got about what happened, about him confessing and wanting to do these loop-de-loops and barrel rolls, which, it's sad, but it's hilarious because the guy actually is surprised he can pull it off, which he makes the statement, and this particularly goes to you again because you stream flight sims on your YouTube channel, and he kind of says he learned this from playing video games.
Oh God, not at all.
Yeah.
Fodder for Fox News right there.
He said that, it was an instant. God, because it's coming. It's coming. Like 9/11 happened. They were blaming. It was a add-on for Flight Simulator called 767 PIC, and for a while it got all kinds of flack from it. So when everyone in the flight sim community, when they heard the video game, they instantly knew it was either going to be 1 or 2 simulation software out there, and it's just going to be instant bud to sling for the industry.
Oh my God! So what was the one you just named off the flight simulator?
Well, the one that really that came up to be a big issue, like back around 9/11, was 767 PIC. But the two of question as of late is going to be X-Plane 11 and P3D.
Okay.
Lockheed Martin Prepare 3D. Yep.
Dang, Flight Simulator, Microsoft, how far we have fallen. Man.
Yeah.
That's the only one
By the ways.
I've heard it explained though, so that's cool. And to me, the video wasn't necessarily funny though. The dude was joking around. It was just eerie to me, especially knowing that he died, and then it was really, really chilling to me. Like it was crazy.
Well, I mean, and then like some of the, it's sad to say, but some of the pure joy he had when he was doing some of these moves, like, oh, I didn't think I could do that, And I've heard even another, another airline pilot talking about, you shouldn't be able to do this stuff in that plane he was using. So have you ever flown the plane he was flying in, and do you know anything specific about the maneuverability?
No, not necessarily in that particular type, but I mean, structurally, these particular types of aircraft, I mean, when you look at them from, performance data and things like that, normally they provide a little bit of buffer. Like, for example, like turbulence. I mean, sometimes you hit turbulence there that's like unbelievable, but structurally, these aircraft are capable of, quite a lot more than what we put them through. And I mean, if he happened to have pulled it off and he stayed, 1G the whole way, really didn't pull a whole lot of G's to stress the airframe, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, and there's this one, Carrie talked about Erie, but there's this one video. Of course, we're in the cell phone age, and pull out your phone and record. Yeah. There's this one Erie video, like these people standing outside, and they're like recording it with their phone. Like, this guy's doing loop-de-loops and barrel rolls. They're like cracking up, and then like in the distance, you see the fighter jet scrambling like right behind them. So, man,
yeah, it was
just
weird.
Yeah,
it was weird. But you notice a lot of people were thinking. I know I was reading one article where one of the onlookers was like, "Dude, I thought it was freaking they're getting ready for air show or something."
Oh.
Like they didn't really take it seriously, and it's just like, which I mean I can kind of see that because I'm not gonna lie. If I see a Dash 8, pulling loops, I'm not gonna instantly think terror. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean. One, I'm gonna be running the other way, but two, it's just like that's just not gonna come to my mind.
So let me ask you this, Johnny. Was there any chance that the fighter jets that scrambled? Was there any chance that they would have shot him down?
Oh yeah. Honestly, that was one of my questions because it's like, why wait so long? I mean, it didn't seem as if he had any intentions of heading toward a high populated area. But if you listen to some of the air traffic control recordings, they're steadily trying to guide him to a less populated area. The first thing was it was like, okay, here's a runway. We're giving you a heading. Head there, and we'll land there, and we'll talk about this later. And then. I guess the guy was like, no, I can't do it, whatever. And then finally they're just like, what? Apparently this guy has other intentions. So they're trying to guide him away from sparsely, from heavily populated areas. And when they scrambled the F-15s, which apparently they hit like supersonic getting there. So yeah, they were not playing. But they see, I don't know if they were just kind of watching him or what. That's what I was kind of wondering.
And to me, like, we can get off this, but to me, like, one of the most scariest things about it, he seemed like a very calm and collected person when he was talking. Right. He seemed like he had like a momentary lapse in judgment to where he did this, and he's talking about, oh, I don't want to disappoint my family, and he's even saying, I want to stay away from crowded areas. I don't want to try to land this thing at a populated airport. He's making all these sane judgment calls. But yet he has done something just, unspeakable,
Yep. Yeah, it's weird. It's really hard to get. I think that's probably what the FBI is trying to figure out now, right? Is like, what was this guy's ultimate motive? Because, it wasn't to inflict any kind of mayhem at all. When they look at the guy's blog, I mean, it seems to be, all happy, not a hint of trouble or anything like that, and all of a sudden he just jumps into the airplane and does that. So yeah, that was weird because I kind of wonder as far as like security measures, what the Homeland Security is going to do about that. But
you best believe they're going to clamp down on that.
Exactly. Well, it's like what else? Because I mean, ultimately. It's like, what else can you do, right? Because it's like, ultimately, there has to be someone there servicing the airplane. So someone at some point in time is going to have to touch the airplane. And I guess here's the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen. I guess the reality is like, if someone's going to do something, they're going to do it.
Yeah.